Hello, and thank you for fulfilling this training requirement for the Lassen County Office of Education's Workplace Violence Prevention Plan. My name is Tom Jones, and I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Ed Services and Human Resources at the Lassen County Office of Education. LCOE is committed to a work environment that is free from harassment, that values work-life balance, and takes workplace safety seriously. There are multiple measures in place for your safety. LCOE has plans in place that create well-maintained places to work, including established emergency procedures, procedures to report concerns, and communication to keep you informed. A related plan is the Illness and Injury Prevention Plan, called an IIPP. That includes a Workplace Violence Prevention Plan. Recently, California law has changed the requirements for workplace violence prevention plans. Today's training is to familiarize you with these updates. In addition to this training, LCOE prevents workplace violence through Keenan Safe Schools trainings that emphasize safety, emergency preparedness, and de-escalation strategies. Health and wellness supports are also available to all employees, including an employee assistance program. Through CVT, you have access to a variety of value-added programs that enhance health and wellness supports, with services such as counseling, legal and financial counseling, and work-life balance services. All these programs are confidential, and most are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you would like to learn more about these programs, you may contact Travis in the business department or refer to the CVT benefits page. All employees have access to this feature. See Tom, Courtney, or Travis for a brochure today. We want to ensure that you know what workplace violence is so that you can report potential threats and incidents, and we can investigate and take action as needed. The new legislation defines threats of violence as any verbal or written statement or any behavior or physical act that may be thought to cause harm or fear of harm. Workplace violence is defined to mean any act of violence or threat or violence that occurs in the place of employment. Please take a moment to review what could be considered a threat of violence and what is considered workplace violence. Any threats or violence will need to be reported to your supervisor, director, and human resources. Additionally, the incident will need to be reported on the Workplace Violence Incident Log, which we will cover later in the training. The law states that lawful acts of self-defense or acts that defend others is not considered workplace violence. However, the act that led to the lawful defense would most certainly need to be reported. Let's discuss the 4 types of workplace violence as defined by the new legislation. The new law defines 4 types of workplace violence. Type 1 is a violent threat or act committed by a person who has no legitimate business at the worksite, who has entered the workplace or approached a worker with the intent to commit a crime. Type 2 is violence or threat of violence directed at employees by customers, clients, students, or visitors. Type 3 is violence or threat of violence against an employee by a present or former employee, supervisor, or manager. Type 4 is a threat of violence committed in the workplace by a person who does not work there but has or is known to have had personal relations with an employee. LCOE encourages you to report any incident or threat of an incident regardless of the type so we can take appropriate action. When reporting incidents, you will be asked to categorize the type of violence you are witnessing. You will be asked to categorize the incident on the Workplace Violence Incident Log. Let's talk about how the LCOE Human Resources will respond once a report is made. If you report a potential threat or incident of workplace violence, LCOE HR will confirm receipt of your report and determine the need to perform a formal investigation. We will also let you know of any investigation findings and corrective actions as appropriate. Formal investigation documentation, however, shall remain confidential. We will keep record of workplace violence reports on a workplace violence report log that will be kept in Human Resources. Should you need health and wellness support, we encourage you to access the employee assistance programs available to LCOE employees, as was previously mentioned in this training. If you happen to find yourself in a violent situation, do your best to stay calm. Speak to the other person quietly and calmly, and try to put some space between yourself and the other person. Call 911 if there's immediate danger or if there's someone injured, and notify your director or supervisor when it is safe to do so. Following the event, complete the workplace violence incident log, which can be found on the LCOE website. Do not escalate the situation by shouting down the aggressor or making any aggressive moves towards the irate person. Do not use any defensive sprays or weapons. Additionally, do not fight or try to break up a violent act. Take no risks that would end up endangering yourself. LCOE encourages employees who have a concern to report the concern without fear of retaliation, so we can investigate and take the necessary actions. Concerns are often resolved most quickly by contacting your direct supervisor. Another way to report a concern is to directly contact the appropriate LCOE department, or if it's an emergency, law enforcement by calling 911. Additionally, you may email Courtney or Tom with your concerns. During investigations, LCOE maintains strict anti-retaliation policies to ensure that retaliation against someone reporting an incident is prevented to the extent feasible. If retaliation ultimately occurs, LCOE will act promptly to investigate and consider any additional outcomes, including corrective actions. If you believe that you've experienced worksite illness or injury, discrimination or sexual harassment, workplace violence, or are fearful due to the threat of workplace violence, if you have a general concern and you are not sure how to report it, please contact Human Resources so we can help you. LCOE Human Resources is happy to support you with understanding your rights, roles, and responsibilities. We have a commitment to a culture of safety and open communication. We are here to assist you, answer questions, and connect you with resources. We maintain ongoing collaboration with labor partners, including getting input and feedback regarding the Workplace Violence Prevention Plan. Our role also includes ensuring compliance with Cal-OSHA, the California Division of Occupational Safety and Health, conducting investigations, and supporting actions that foster your safety at work. LCOE's Maintenance Division oversees the maintenance over all LCOE operated buildings. Maintenance also provides support for other sites with LCOE programs like the Youth Camp. Some LCOE programs are located on school district campuses and other locations. If you work at a school site that is not one of the main facilities, we will work with the relevant school district to ensure that your work site meets safety requirements. LCOE's Maintenance Division ensures work site hazard inspections are scheduled and performed regularly as needed by trained professionals per Cal-OSHA regulations. Arian Hart is the maintenance manager for LCOE. We encourage all employees to contact Tom or Courtney if there's a potential hazard that could be unsafe at one of our facilities so that we can have Arian investigate and make needed corrections. Another way that we can ensure employee safety is through emergency response planning. The LCOE Emergency Response Plan is a living document that changes with time as modifications are necessary. Our emergency response planning, staff training, and the worksite inspections for emergency preparedness are overseen by our admin team, who work directly with first responders and other experts in the field. Employees who work within a program on a campus of another school district should familiarize themselves with the emergency procedures at that work site. If you are unsure about how to access school district emergency plans, please contact your supervisor or Tom or Courtney. In the event of an emergency, LCOE will use the intercom feature on our phones and email to communicate with our employees. LCOE encourages all employees to take steps to keep themselves safe. If you are in immediate danger, call 911. Maintain awareness of your surroundings. Carry necessary personal items, including identification, keys, medication, cell phone, etc. Be sure to update your personal contact information with LCOE HR if needed. Report concerns and incidents and follow emergency procedures or the direction of emergency officials, which may include sheltering and/or evacuation as needed. LCOE is committed to enhance access to information and foster environments of open communication about concerns. We encourage you to speak with your supervisor for the most immediate communication. You may also email Tom or Courtney. View and access the Workplace Violence Prevention Plan and all safety plans at the lcoe.org website as described on this slide. The required workplace violence incident log can be downloaded from this location as well.